This was the press release of Hegseth's statement upon becoming Secretary of Defense, SecDef, passing a financial audit. Pentagon's never done that. That's not happening. Rapidly fielding emerging technologies. That's already been happening. That's what the Biden administration did. Most lethal force in the world. Sounds like Kamala Harris.
I will ensure America always has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world.
The thing I wanted to focus on this Hegseth statement, the true mission of Hegseth, the only thing he mentions that has to do with the world in his statement to the Pentagon, the only thing is China. He mentions communist China. Other than that, he says nothing about the world, which is not surprising because he knows nothing about the world. But I wanted us to be clear-eyed about what he's about and why he's there, because he's clearly not qualified for this. He's a loyalist, right? And so my theory of Pete Hegseth is that he has two missions, and they intersect with the Pentagon's existing missions, but they are not the same. His primary mission is war on DEI. Nobody doubts this. Everybody knows this. It's been his primary line of effort. His second mission is to support a civil war if it happens, or to be a coup enforcer if it happens, right? Trump learned from his first term in office, you need the Pentagon on side if you're going to go full mask off, full dark side, full fascist. You need to have somebody at the Pentagon who's going to be a loyalist. So in the event that Trump needs to go down that monarchical tyranny path, he needs a yes man leading the Pentagon. Hegseth is that guy. So if that shit hits the fan, break glass, activate your loyalist. That's Hegseth's like contingent role. His primary role, as we know, is war on DEI. That primary mission, this is the thread that nobody is connecting. It requires great power competition. It requires making China evil and 10 feet tall. The reactionary political project of a white supremacist, patriarchal military requires focusing the Pentagon on lethality, right? To absurd levels, as if lethality isn't what the Pentagon has been focused on its entire existence, as if Kamala was not foremost committed to lethality.
I will ensure America always has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world.
This is about the white supremacist patriarchal military, the white nationalist military. This is why Hegseth wants to fire as chairman of the Joint Chiefs, because the guy is black. The guy is a warmonger, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. If you ask me, I'm not defending the guy, but he's black. And that means that Hegseth wants to get rid of him. Because if lethality was all Hegseth cared about, he would want to keep the current chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. His real primary mission is the white nationalization, the patriarchalization of the military. And you see a lot of elements of that. I've read snippets from the book he wrote because it's one of these things like I read it so you don't have to. Scanning through the e-copy, this is his obsession. And there's a bunch of dudes in the like national security intersection with MAGA world. There's a bunch of dudes who think that DEI is a Marxist project, which is fucking hilarious. It's like nothing. It's so anti-Marxist, but they think it's a Marxist project to destroy America by destroying the Pentagon. I really don't know if they actually believe that, because it's so insane that it makes my brain explode. But whether they believe it or not, that's the mission. That's the main thing, is to like counter DEI. In order to counter DEI, they've got to have an object to direct lethality at. That object is called China. And so this is, once again, look, this is why we wrote this book, the rivalry peril, dog. The whole point of this geopolitical rivalry, great power competition, it has a political valence. It tilts the terrain of politics in favor of the fascists, of those who are against democracy itself. And this is precisely what we mean. Countering DEI, if it's about making that sort of white nationalist patriarchy institution, well, how are you going to do it? You're going to do it on the back of China rivalry. You're going to do it because you have to have that excuse of China. If we keep DEI, we can't beat China, right? That's their insane idiot galaxy brain logic. The reason I'm talking about this right now is that like the whole debate about DEI in the military and Hegseth, it's forcing Democrats once again to be the defenders of the establishment and to be institutionalists in a world, to be like defenders of the system in a world where the system is broken, which is inherently bad politics. This is how Kamala lost. It's such smart politics on the part of like these MAGA fuckheads.